Hello. Hello. So, hello. Welcome to the Business Plug, like almost 15 minutes after 7. Thank you for those of you who will get the notifications that I am on, that the Business Plug mixer is happening. It has been crazy. So, first we started off, I had a guest that was going to come on and tell us about his genius. And something happened. He traveled out of the country, so he couldn't be here. So then he referred me to a friend, and his friend is, we were agreeing to get him on, and then he's traveling, and so he's been ill. He couldn't get here. So I'm like, okay, what do you do? So what do you do? So get all that out of the way. Then I had to pick up a beautiful painting from Leticia. If you have not found Leticia, you need to find her. You need to find her. And I think I'm going to put a link in this video about her because she's an up and coming artist that is making some amazing things happen. And I just happened to get one of her pieces. So today I went to pick that up and then got here right at 7, ready to get in, get on. And then it said, you have no sound. So that's why you see this big old mic right here. It's because I didn't have sound. Like I had to create sound because it couldn't find the mic that's on my laptop. So it's just been one thing after another. But how many of you know that when you have good news to share with people, there's always going to be something happening, right? And so that's what this is. Because I want to talk to you. I want you to ask me any questions. See how the picture just went out? We're not even gonna worry about it. We're not gonna worry with it. We're just not. We're gonna stop sharing the screen and we're gonna go on with our lives because we're not doing it. We're not, too many things have been going wrong today. This is craziness. But hi, my name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the Business Plug, and I'm coming on to plug small business owners into the fact that I am hosting a free coffee and conversation that is designed to help small business owners find solutions to their challenges. And so I was reading an article, and how all this came about is a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about, hey there, well, hello there, Joe. I hope I say your name right. Hello there from Maryville. I can see that. Hello there from Maryville. Thank you for joining me. So, what this is about is small business owners who have challenges. Since all my planning for speakers didn't happen today, I am doing an Ask Me Anything where you can ask me anything. But the things about challenges, if you're local, you can meet me. You can actually ask me anything in person next Saturday at noon because I am hosting a free coffee and conversation. And if you're online, if you get your ticket and you're online, let me know. And I may do it live there. So that way you can I may do the Zoom call. So you can come in and ask your questions too. But my thing is, with everybody doing this great resignation, right? Because people have been staying home with COVID and, with their kids, the pandemic and schedules changes and life and things. And they found out, whoa, wait a minute. I can be at home doing things I do and start my own business. So all these people, they call it the great resignation. All these people quit their jobs and said, you know what? I'm going to cash out. I'm going to go ahead and get my retirement or do whatever, pull my funds and open a business. I'm going to work for myself, which is ideally sounds great. It does. It sounds wonderful. But the thing about that is owning a business can be quite cumbersome. I mean, it is a whole bother. It is not as easy as it looks. The great ones make it look so easy, but in all actuality, it is not as easy as it looks. And so for that reason, I'm hosting a coffee and conversations where I am going to help small business owners push through their challenges, like come up with solutions. I'm LSMB Business Solutions, and they call me the Business Plug. So that just seems like something I would do, right? And I am Saturday at noon. But today I come on because I want to talk to you about all the things I'm seeing about these businesses, these new startups. So here's the thing. When you first start your business, a lot of business owners Just throw something against the wall, and if it sticks, it sticks. If it doesn't, they throw something else. Okay, you can run through your money very quick. I'm speaking from experience. You can run through whatever funding you have very quickly by just throwing things up against the wall to see what works. It is better to have a coach or mentor, somebody who can help walk you through, especially if you can find a mentor in your field. Like if you know somebody who's already doing what you're planning to do, then getting them to coach you, to mentor you, is going to save you so much money. Because I'm telling you, when you first get started, you have this whole idea, this whole dream of what your business is going to be, and you are like excited, and it's like hearing your song on the radio. Cool, right? It's very exciting and very emotional. But the thing about that is, a lot of people think, well, I did X on my job, I can do a business. Well, here's the thing, even CEOs, CFOs, even people who are in leadership positions, you're only, for the most part, exposed to one part of your company. So let's say if you were working in operations, then you know how to create whatever the product or service that you're doing because you worked in operations and you were doing that task on the job. However, as a small business owner, you are the bottle washer, the dishwasher, the cook, the stirrer, the purchaser, the marketer, the salesperson, the janitor, the everything. You're everybody in one. And if you don't have access, or if you haven't had access to that type of training, you can find yourself overwhelmed like very quickly. And the reason I know that is because it was me. I mean, I had the same thing. Luckily, I did some mentoring with some amazing people, had amazing coaches who walked me through several of the processes to give me the shortcuts. But even in that, it still has been cumbersome these 9 years that I've been on business, right? I've been doing what I do for over 30 years, helping people live better lives, like making career choices, writing resumes, doing mock interviews, like getting them ready to get their next jobs. I've been doing that for over 30 years and have done it for so many people before I lost my job in 2013 and decided to repurpose those skills into a business. Even with all that background, like 26 years of experience in that particular job, I still didn't have it all. I did not have everything I needed when I started to open the business. I started with the book. So the book here, The Well Ran Dry, is in every public library in the United States. All you have to do is ask for it, and they will get it for you. So I did that first. That was the first step. Then after I did that, I said, okay, I need to do something else to get this word out that I am out here available to assist small businesses. Because what I found is small businesses do not have an HR department. Like you as the business owner, you are the HR department. And the Department of Labor has very set rules on how you hire and how you fire. Like a lot of nonprofits would be in penalties, getting penalties for some of the things they do in hiring and firing their staff because they don't know. You don't know how much you don't know. And so if you don't ask that question, you never know, right? And so there are people who, I have a chain of people who are HR specialists, like that's their genius. And they can go deep dives into the HR world or operations. So let's say you're doing what you did on the job, how you saw it being done on the job. And now you're doing it for yourself. But there's some automation out there that your company may or may not have had that could really benefit you. So what does that look like? So I talk to people about operations. We take deep dives into how they're set up and making sure that they're lean, making sure, I'm Six Sigma. So, and also a project manager professional. So making sure that their processes make sense. Because a lot of times if we don't know, we don't know. And then if our company, the employer that we had before, if they didn't know, then we won't know. So helping business owners to think strategically of how to set up their operations is another thing I do. In addition to that, we go over marketing. We talk about sales and the difference between marketing and sales, because marketing gets you known, sales gets you paid, and what do those differences look like? Because you need a strategy for both, even though they should partner up. you still need a strategy for both. And so what does that look like? And then we talk about distribution channels. Like, are you using the best method to get your product, your services out to your customers? Or are you increasing your overhead by paying too much because there are things that you don't know? So we talk about that, distribution channels, and then we talk about financial or business finances. That is huge. Like, I don't care what you're doing, what you're selling, whether you're selling popsicle sticks or you're selling meat sandwiches, meatloaf sandwiches. It doesn't matter. Whatever you're selling, you will need to have financial acumen in order to operate your business efficiently, because the money is the lifeblood of your business. And if you are spending too much, then you are giving away your profits and you are hampering yourself from growing because you're spending too much. So how do we fine tune that cost? How do we make sure we're paying the best dollars? How do we make sure we're getting the best products, the quality that we want, and not sacrificing quality for price? How do we make sure that we even priced right? Because that's the trigger, right? When somebody buys your product, a lot of times we don't think of what that price should be. So how we look at that, we look at how your business finances are set up from the beginning to the end. We go on a customer journey and we create a customer service strategy for you, because the whole thing about scaling a business, you need recurring income. Like, you need people coming back. You need to do, whether you're doing business to business or business to consumer, you still need to have recurring income. So how do you create that customer journey that keeps your customers coming back? We go through that and we'll talk about that on Saturday. I want to help the people who are a part of the great resignation. I want to make sure that you're not doing the, hey, great, hire me back, and then there are no jobs left out there for you, or you get hired at a lesser value than what you bring to the table. So let's have a discussion about how you, as a small business owner, can fine tune your processes and procedures and make sure that you're taking advantage of all the certifications, the free resources, the support that's out there. Like, right now, we have the America Rescue Plan, and that's getting ready to come through. And that's going to be a good thing for a lot of small businesses. So are you ready to be blessed? That's one of the questions I asked last week. Is your business ready to be blessed? And what does that look like? What prerequisites do you need to have in place so that you can get in on the funding? Because people are going to be looking for support systems. And can your business support, can you be a part of their the RFP when they write the RFP? Like, are you in position to handle it? So what does that look like? What does it look like to even respond to an RFP? And then you have other monies that are coming down from state contracts or corporate contracts. And what does that look like in order to be ready for those when they come? So that's what we're doing. Right now, we're trying to make sure that the people who are part of the great resignation, that your businesses have the kind of infrastructure that will support your success, and that it's not haphazardly thrown together, that you have put together a cohesive plan, a cohesive strategy for building your business. Because nobody wants to go back, nobody wants to spend all that money getting your logos, your cards, and all the things that you need to get, only to close your business in 3 years, 18 months, 5 years, whatever that number is. Because before COVID, it was businesses closing in 18 months, or what is it? 18 months to 5 years. Like, I was looking at some statistics, even in the UK, they, based on 2020's information, they were saying that 91% of the businesses were open after 1 year. So 91%, that's a high number. That's a good number. But then they said, but only 5%, I think it was 5%. Let me make sure, because I don't want to quote it wrong. In 5 years, there you go. Fast forward 5 years, and just 40% would still be trading. So this is in the UK. It says new businesses were forming 70 every hour, 70 new businesses every hour. And of that, 91% will still be operating after 1 year in some industries. Fast forward 5 years, and just 40% will still be trading. In America, it looks very, very similar to that. So that's not just the UK, that's in America as well. So when you think about starting a business, like starting a business is good, but the whole thing is keeping that business open because it looks easy, but it's not. It's not easy to do. Starting a business is problematic, but rewarding at the same time. So what another thing they talk about is, and this was based off a story that was out in Oregon. It says that the Oregon small businesses face the nation's second worst hiring issues. See, so there are so many issues, like getting the right people the first time. That can be problematic if you don't know how to do it. Like if you've never hired people before, you don't know what questions to ask. You don't know what questions you can't ask because you could be penalized by the Department of Labor. So it's just great to have somebody on your team that can talk about that. And then also, what they're seeing is a lot of cybersecurity statistics out there that says that small businesses invest as less as $500 a year in cybersecurity. So what does that look like? Like if you, especially if you're doing business online, have you protected your customers' data? Have you protected your information? Because these hackers out here are real, they're a real problem. And so making sure that you're understanding that. So this says, I'm going to give you 16 of the most common challenges that small businesses are encountering. Okay. And so number one is hiring the right talent. And this is from Locate IQ. So these are the 16 things they're saying that are the most challenging things for you as a small business. So they're saying that 75% of job seekers are likely to apply for a job if the business actively manages its employer brand. So understanding how to do that, understanding how to put your best efforts to get the best employees, right? And not just putting employees in seats. Another thing they talk about is managing those employees. Okay, so you hired them. So what does that look like? Are you going to be a good business to work for? You know, how are you going to address employee issues? 70% of employees felt more engaged in companies where the goals and objectives and performance were clearly communicated. Like, do you even know how to set those up? Training your employees. That's number 3. People have problems training their employees. Like, do you know what documents you need to have in place? Like, there's a whole method to employee performance improvement and how to help your employees to grow from new employee to best employee to becoming that asset for your small business. Like, that's a whole vibe right there. So understanding how to train your employees and then determine what's the right budget. Like, do you even have a budget for your business? A lot of businesses don't. And so they're just flapping in the wind financially. They do not know the 3 statements that every business owner should know, such as your cash flow, your balance sheet, your income statement. Those 3, if you don't know those 3, if you know nothing else about your finances, those 3 are worth you looking into. So we'll talk about how that happens and what that information gives you. And then being able to calculate your return on investment. So the return on investment, you'll hear it called ROI. Like a lot of people talk about marketing. I want to market. I want to market. I want to market. You hear digital marketing. I'm doing social media ads. I'm spending all this money marketing, making sure people know that I'm a business. But then do you know how to calculate the returns on that? Like knowing that formula, right? Knowing how sales growth will help you to understand that formula on if your marketing is working. Like you need to know that. And so we'll talk about that. And then taxes. Oh, if I can tell you, I have ran into so many businesses where they are not filing their taxes. And so part of the PPP, when it came out, that was a big hindrance of people getting support is because they never filed taxes for their businesses. They were like, well, I'm a solo entrepreneur, so I don't file taxes for my businesses. Okay, there's so many things wrong with that. But understanding why it's important for you to file your taxes, right? And understanding how to not overpay your taxes, but to pay your share of your taxes is actually a good thing. It took my friend Patrice to help me to see that. And then creating a marketing plan. Like, do you have a marketing plan or for your business? Or are you just willy nilly just doing all kind of things? You're on TikTok, you're on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, you're all over the place, but you have no strategy to how you're doing it. And so it says 72% of business owners work with two or more marketing partners. 72% of them working with marketing partners. So understanding what that is and understanding again the return on the investment when you're talking about marketing your business, and then allocating budget across your marketing channels. Like, do you even know what all your marketing channels are? Like, what is based on what you're selling? There are platforms you should be on. So it's not important for you to be on all of the platforms, but it is important for you to have the biggest showing where your ideal client is. And okay, ideal client, that's a whole nother thing. So how do we figure out who's our ideal client? Like, if you're marketing to everyone, the numbers, the raw numbers say if you were to market to 100 people, just everyone, just putting an ad out there, 90% of them would not even want to hear from you, like 90%. And then the 10% that do want to hear from you, of that 10%, only 1 to 3 of them are ready to pay, ready to purchase your product or service. The others are going to need a little nurturing. And so if you don't know that, you're wasting 90% of your money marketing to everybody. So we'll talk about how to do targeted marketing. What does that look like when you're talking about spending money on marketing your dollars, and how to measure that marketing success? So that's number 10. We're going all through these. These are some great points, by the way. Good job, Liquid IQ. And so small business challenges, getting serving and retaining customers. What about, do you have a customer attraction system? Do you have a customer attraction system, or are you one of the businesses out there that's out there chasing customers, right? An elderly lady told me once, anything that's being chased doesn't want to be caught. So if you're having to chase customers, you may want to rethink of how that's done. It says 89% of the people start their customer journey by searching for new businesses on search engines. So what are you out there? I know a lot of us are used to moving in silence and never let them know what you're doing and all that whole, yeah, all of that. And so I am better in thinking there are some things you probably don't want to put out there until you have them done. But as far as you being a business and you building a brand, your business will get known because people see you. And believe it or not, I don't care how big your circle is. I don't care how big your circle is not enough to sustain your business. Like, your business will grow because of strangers. Let me tell you, strangers supporting your business will be how you grow. So understanding what that looks like. And when I mean strange, what I mean by strangers is your targeted audience. Like, when you understand who your avatar should be, then that's who's going to help your business grow. So do you have a method for getting new customers, attracting new customers? And then what are you doing to retain the customers, the people who've already spent money with you? A lot of small businesses are one and done. So what are you doing? So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about things you can do based on your business, because it's not one size fit all. Your depending on what you sell will depend on what kind of strategy you need to have in place. Like, if you have something that people need, that's going to be very different from if you have something that is an impulse buy, or people just buy it. It's great to have. So thinking about those different strategies is going to help you to position yourself well. And so, um, according to Liquid IQ, Local IQ, it says it costs 5 to 25 times more to acquire a new customer than to retain the current customer. And that's why you want to build customer journeys, because you don't want to be out here chasing customers. Remember, chasing them, they don't want to be caught. So understanding what that looks like and helping you to address that. And then addressing your customer issues. A lot of people, oh, this is one area where I always tell customers to go back to the business owner, because the numbers say when people have a bad experience, they tell 10 people. And then those 10 people will tell 10 people. And pretty soon you have a bad reputation. But if you can nip it in the bud, if you can work on solving your customers' issues, then you're going to be ahead of the game, and you're going to turn a bad experience into the best sales experience that customers ever had. Like if you want to really grow your business by word of mouth, take a bad situation and make it great. And it may involve giving away something or doing something out of the norm. But when you look at it on the long term, those things are the things that retain your customers and have people referring you to their families and friends, like growing your business by word of mouth. So 83% of people say they feel more loyal to businesses that resolve their complaints. Your customer complaints are gold, because they're showing you where you may have a gap in your business model. They're showing you how to plug it up. So don't think of customer complaints as a bad thing. It's really a good thing. And so we'll talk about how to strategize and get that up and running. And then another thing is navigating uncertainty. So, pandemics, life, living, anything can happen at any time around here. You know that for yourself. And so, how do you mitigate the impact of the unknown? We'll talk about that too. And then avoiding burnout. Like, what are you doing? Because when you're burnt out, when you can't get up anymore, you've done all you can do. How do we stop ourselves from getting into that place? Like where we're no longer excited about what we're doing and we just can't close one more deal. We've had enough. What does that look like? And how can we prevent getting there? And then the final one, the final thing that they have is taking time off. A lot of times, small business owners run 24/7. They are always on, right? Always on. But if you have family and friends, you can't be always on. Relationships are important. And so, teaching you how to do work life balance, even if you are a small business owner, is important. So, those are the things that we are going to be discussing next Saturday. We'll be discussing all 16 of those things next Saturday. And we're going to do that in order to help small businesses to build a strategy that's going to help them to make their business. You keep hearing recession, recession, recession. Well, here's a time to start making your business recession proof. How do you do that? And so thinking about those things, again, helping all the people who are in the great resignation stay with their businesses so you don't lose your money, your time. That's what we're about. My name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the Business Plug. And so today I've been talking about the challenges that are being recognized and seen by small businesses. On Saturday at noon Eastern Time, I'm going to be helping business owners to work through those challenges. The ticket is in Eventbrite. If you are not in the Chattanooga area, you can still join us. Just put on your ticket that you're from out of state, and I'll make sure we do a live that includes you, because I want to help businesses to live better. It's limited seating for the in person. We only have limited seating, but if you're anywhere in the United States and you want to join us, go ahead and get your ticket at Eventbrite and join me Saturday at noon Eastern Time, and we'll get it done. My name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the Business Plug, and I'm plugging you into there are solutions for your challenges. I'll see you next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and thank you for watching the Business Plug. Bye.